Hi everyone, hope you're doing great and staying safe. I'm back with another art journal video. Today's journal is on paper collaging. So here we go. So starting with using my base page as a watercolor art journal page, and I am applying mixed media paste on it using a stencil. I am going to keep the impression mostly on the edges of the art journal page. I'm happy with how it looks right now, and I'm just scraping off the excess from the edges of the page, and I will now set it aside for air drying. While it is drying, now I will work on my collage cluster. So this is a page from one of my diary, Hogwarts inspired Harry Potter inspired diary, I would say, and the pages on that diary are to look like a parchment paper. So I am ripping the edges for an organic look, and what I'm doing is I am ripping it in a way that I'm not getting any white impression on the page. So once the page is ripped, I'm going to give a definition to the page using archival ink sepia to make it look more like vintage. And using the same color, I'm going to stencil some impression on the page, dark on the edges and fading in the center. Once I'm happy with how the the yellow page is looking, I am working on creating my cluster. So I'm using all the ephemeras from my stash, and these are basically craft angles transfer me ephemeras, which I have to transfer on a paper and then cut them separately to make my ephemeras. I first decided to use a colorful a text page, but then later on didn't like it on the cluster, so I removed it and used a few small strips of the page. Like I said, this is another craft angle ephemera set, transfer me, which I have transferred on a paper and then eventually cut on as per what I wanted. And while I did that, in the background I also stamped my quote for today's art journal, and now I'm just auditioning the collage cluster and how to decide what to keep on the page and what not to keep on the page. Okay, I'm happy with how the page looks. So what I did was I glued down the main cluster, and then I'm going to slowly build it up. Before removing it, I have took a picture of the cluster on my mobile, which helped me to rebuild the cluster again bit by bit. It's a great technique. If you have a lot of collage cluster to glue on, it's always good to take a snap of it and refer it so that you can get the same result which you earlier decided on. So once that's done, because I have used some text page which have some violet color, I used wilted violet to add some splatter on the page. Okay, once that's done, my cluster is complete. Now I have to work on the background, and the texture paste or modeling paste or mixed media paste is already dried. So now I'm moving on to add some coloring to the page. I started with frayed burlap, add some spray, distress oxide spray of it, and then used water to distribute it on the page. Then I used vintage photo, same thing, water and spread. I love how the frayed burlap oxidize, creating these viridian kind of color on the page, and literally I am a big fan of frayed burlap more than vintage photo when it comes to distress oxide. Okay, I'm happy with how the page looks now with all the color on the page. I'm going to add a black edge to the base layer. Yes, I'm very happy with how my background look, and now it's time to add the collage cluster on top of it. So before doing that, I added one more extra texture to the cluster. I liked how it all looked vintage and old, so just made the collage cluster a little bit more old by making some rips on the pages, by ripping the page and curling it down. Adding a little bit of the sepia color to make it look authentic. So once I'm happy with how it looks, I'm finally gluing it down onto the page, and I'm absolutely happy with how it turned out. Just look at it. Loving this viridian blue from frayed burlap, how the color has organically spread on the texture paste, the little hint of violet on the main page. These splatters really nice, and how the cluster is going well along with all the colors on the page. Actually, I was not expecting it to turn out to be this good, but I'm really happy with how it turned out, and yeah, I can say that it is one of my best pages when it comes to collages. So guys, this is it. That's the page. If you like it, do give it a thumbs up, share with friends, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.